Okay, all right. A very good morning or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're calling in from. My name is Nicole T, and I'm the director of the MBA programs at NUS Business School. Um, so I've been on your seat a long time ago. In fact, it's 20 years ago. I was on your seat looking for the right MBA program for me. And since then, my life has been changed as a result of my MBA experience. And so I know how important it is for you. So do take this opportunity to find out as much as you want to know about the MBA program. Okay, so since my graduation from the MBA, I have worked for four top global business schools in both Europe and Asia. I won't mention which one, but feel free to check my LinkedIn profile. And I've come into contact with so many MBA students and who have gone through this journey. So today, I am happy to share with you why I think the NUS MBA is probably the best MBA you can join if you have your sights set on Asia, if you believe in the Asia story, and you have decided that you want to do an MBA. All right, so Asia and MBA, I think the best one you can get into, I believe, is the NUS MBA. All right, so as we saw just now, many of you are joining us from outside of Singapore. So for those who are from outside of Singapore, you might be less familiar with NUS Business School. So as I said, if you see yourself in Asia or having something to do with Asia in the next phase of your careers, NUS Business School is an obvious choice. Singapore is, as you know, is a great gateway to Asia, and it is a fantastic springboard to Asia, especially Southeast Asia, with many MNCs choosing Singapore as its regional headquarters. So, creating many job opportunities in Singapore, and it's a very, very dynamic city. And it's also been consistently ranked amongst the best places to do business. And NUS Business School is, for many of you who are aware, is a top university in Asia, and certainly the most established in Singapore. So it is a very comprehensive university with over 40,000 students, 17 different faculty and schools. So NUS Business School is one of them. So within the business school, most of our students are undergrad students, about 3,000 over of them. And we have 1,000 postgraduate students that includes MBA students, PhD students, and specialized master's students. And in Singapore itself, we have 3 campuses, and we're on the main campus. That's the Kent campus. Right, and the MBA itself is also globally recognized. It's been ranked, as you would have seen in many, many publications, amongst the top in the world, including Economist, Forbes, and Financial Times. My personal advice to you is, don't just rely on rankings when you are searching for the right program for you. All right, so it is a good benchmark. All right, it's a good reference for those who perhaps need help to identify your shortlist. But beyond this, you want to look at, how a school has been consistent in delivering the kind of quality program that these rankings promise. You want to be, talking to the faculty, the staff, and the admissions team of the schools. You want to try to visit if you can. If not, this is the second best option really to come and visit us virtually, and also connect with our students and alumni to hear for yourself what the school really stands for. All right, so that's our rankings. So the next part is, okay, well, I will share with you, all right, so what makes the NUS MBA special, and what really is the transformative experience that so many of our students talk about earlier in the video. All right, so just to give you an overview, this is what the format of the NUS MBA looks like. So as I mentioned earlier, it is available in both full-time as well as part-time formats. It's really up to you what suits you at this stage in your life, right? The full-time experience offers you the opportunity to really immerse yourself. You have, the work piece. You set the work piece aside for the time being, and you completely focus on your MBA experience. So it definitely allows you more time to take part in a lot of the student activities that will make a huge difference to your MBA experience. However, some people may feel that part-time is better for you because you things are going really well for you at work. You don't really want to put your career aside for a couple of years. You will still be able to take advantage of all the academic rigor that the program offers. And we also know that a lot of our part-time students make time to take part in the student activities, all the optional activities that are available. So it's a personal choice, all right. And I'll encourage you to look at the one that you feel best suits you at this point in your life. Right. So if you're looking at the full-time, it's a 1.5-year program. And for me, I myself did a 1-year program, and I've seen a lot of 2-year programs, and I definitely feel that a 1.5 year, 17 months program is the perfect balance, because 1 year you might feel that it's very rushed. It really doesn't allow you to explore the various different areas of interest that you may have, and really it's, you've got to have a very, very clear idea of what you want to do right from the beginning if you're doing a 1-year program. All right. And in a 17 months program, it allows you to not only just focus on the academic aspects, but also allows you to explore different areas of your interest. You can, besides the various electives and specializations, you can take part in different student clubs, the networking opportunities, business plan competitions, the global immersion opportunities, exchange programs that you are given, right? And also, you can take take advantage of internship opportunities. So, a 17-month schedule allows you to do all that. And for those who are looking at part-time, it's this, well, most people finish it within 2 years, so that's 24 months. But many of our students also can stretch their MBA program out into 30 months or even longer. All right. And so that schedule can be worked around your work schedule. Okay, let's talk about how the MBA experience can be the kind of transformative experience that so many of our students talk about. And it's how we allow our students to customize the experience to your own aspirations and your own interests and your own needs. Okay, so you do that through 3 main steps. So number 1, you want to build, you want to basically look at the foundation. So that really is about looking at both the dual core program that I'll talk about shortly. And then you can tailor it based on, say, career goals. Let's say someone's interested in the consulting track, getting into a consulting career after your graduation. So you want to be perhaps looking at the strategy track that we have, specialization that we have, and then join the consulting club. You might even want to run for a leadership position within the clubs, and you want to be connected to the consulting firms through the consulting clubs and through all the networking opportunities. You want to be attending a lot of these sessions that are being held, case interview preparations and all that, right? And then in addition, you can be looking at how to amplify your experience through all of the optional activities, like I mentioned, the internship. You can go on exchange programs and taking part in the student activities. All right, so let's see how that works. So what is the dual core curriculum? This is something very unique at NUS. So if you've attended the career panel earlier, you would have heard the speakers talk a lot about the soft skills, about the way people are working these, how companies are changing these days, and how soft skills are very, very much needed, and perhaps even more important than technical skills. So the academic core prepares you for the basic stuff, right? So, when you take an MBA, of course, you need to know strategy, of course, you need to know finance and accounting and all that. So at NUS, we truly believe that, what will make that difference for you, right, when you go into the workplace is, how you communicate, your critical thinking skills, how you work in teams and all that. And so through the experiential core experiential electives that we offer, we seek to build those soft skills, right? So part of the core courses, right? The very first day of your MBA, all our MBA students go through a 5-day boot camp. So we call that Launch Your Transformation. That's a really apt name for the very first course that you would take. So regardless of whether you're full-time, regardless of whether you're part-time, all right? So for the part-timers, this is probably the only time that you need to take time off to attend classes, right? So the bootcamp really forces you to get out of your comfort zone and to build self-awareness, understand your own limitations, and learn how to work in teams and give people feedback and how do you communicate. So that really starts your transformation journey, all right? So that's through the bootcamp. Then you move on to the next phase, which takes place in over 2 semesters. We call that the MBA Survival Kit. So a lot of people believe that MBAs come to an MBA program already knowing presentation skills, perhaps Excel and all that. So we actually provide all these opportunities for people come in at varying levels of expertise. So the MBA Survival Kit helps you build and strengthen the set of essential skills that you need in not just Excel, not just presentation, but how about cases? How do you crack cases? And how do you work on a consulting project? So those project management skills. So those skills are essential to help you succeed, not just within the MBA program, but also beyond when you go back to your careers. So the idea is that through these, all these core courses, it will build your skills towards the MBA consulting project, which is really a capstone. You will make use of all the skills that you learned previously, and you will work in teams of about 4 to 5, and you will work with a real company to help them with some of their strategic issues. So we have students working in a variety of different companies, from healthcare to consulting to banking and all that. So they are working with their clients in those companies. They are the project sponsors, and they are also supported by their professors within the school to deliver these projects. Right. Then how does one customize, right, your own MBA experience? So this is something that I believe is very unique to the NUS MBA. So you can customize your MBA in many different ways, all right, one of which is through our electives. So you can pick from one of our 9 specializations, all right, from finance to consulting to digital business. That's one of the more popular ones these days, strategy, real estate, healthcare, and so on. And so regardless of the specialization that you pick, right, the core courses will be the same, all right? So you customize it through these electives. And in addition to these, you are also able to choose from 50 other, a range of over 50 electives from not just the business school, but outside the business school. And also some of these experiential electives, such as the Lean Launchpad, which is essentially a startup experience where you will, through the NUS enterprise, join a team that will be tasked and will be coached to bring an innovation to the market, right? So you, as a business school student, as an MBA, as a team member, you will be the business lead, and the team will be consisted of perhaps an engineer and a scientist, and the team will work together throughout the semester to bring an innovation to the market. All right, so these are some of our initiatives and electives that you can choose. So I mentioned that there are many other optional activities and events and that you can take part in, that you can use to further customize your own MBA experience based on your interests, based on your aspirations. So internship is one of them. You can do the internships either credit bearing or non-credit bearing, all right? And some of our students do it on a full-time basis. Full-time internships are only possible during vacation time. And some of our students choose a part-time internship, which they can do during the semester. If you're a foreign student, foreign students are only allowed by our Ministry of Manpower to work on an internship or work for a maximum of 16 hours a week. Okay, that is if it's a part-time internship. Of course, during vacations, you're allowed to work full-time. And global exchange programs are really popular too. So NUS has partnerships with over 60 universities, and that they will offer many internship opportunities. Obviously, most of them are currently interrupted by COVID. Many of our students are choosing to continue their elective, their exchange program virtually. Some have decided to cancel their exchange program. And in addition, NUS, you see towards the right, we have a global network for advanced management. NUS has partnership with the GNM network. That actually is a very selective network of top schools around the world. I think there are only about 30 schools globally, and they only accept 1 or 2, maximum 2 schools for like the larger countries per country to be part of this network. So within this network, we do share electives, we share exchange opportunities, double degree options. So Yale is one of them, right? So because we're part of this network, we're able to offer electives to our students to take from the other schools. So just last week, we had 200 of our students join the NUS hosted electives. We have people, students from Nigeria, we have people from London taking part in virtual classes offered by NUS. So likewise, our students are able to join those schools' electives that they're offering. And so then there's the Global Immersion Program. It's a 1 week, basically, essentially, it's a 1 week study trip, all right, to various destinations. Annually, we offer about 2 to 3 destinations This year, it was supposed to be Tokyo and Barcelona. Unfortunately, those trips had to be canceled at the last minute. And very often, these are student-led field trips, which the students plan, they reach out to companies that they want to see, and it's a full immersion program, and they will visit multiple companies, and they also have cultural activities during those visits. Right. And then there's another aspect, which is the student council, student clubs. This is student life aspect that I'll talk about shortly. But, you know, we have a very, very active student club community. They are the driver for many of these networking and the workshops that the students can take part in. All right. Right. So this is the, you know, what the student council, the MBA club ecosystem looks like. So there are a total of 12 clubs. So many of them are industry focused, and some of them are more general, like, you know, diversity inclusion. We have, of course, the social club, and then, you know, we have obviously the most popular ones are the tech club, the consulting club, energy club, you know, entrepreneurship club, finance club, of course. And so through these clubs, so students can run for leadership positions, or you can just choose to take part in the activities that the clubs organize. And you know, let me show you some examples of the activities that these clubs have organized. So for example, obviously a lot of these examples you're going to see now are what events held virtually because of COVID, but previously these events were held for face-to-face. You know, the good thing about COVID, I suppose, is the fact that now these events can go global, just like this one. So we have actually, you know, now we can have speakers, you know, we can have a panel that consists of someone from US, someone from Australia, and someone from Asia, all dialing in at the same time. So our students have now more access to even, you know, a larger network through these activities that are conducted virtually. So this is one example of an activity that was held through the tech club. And right, so another activity, brand communication during times of crisis. So we reach out to industry experts to come in and share their experience. Another one, sometimes we have alumni, business leaders come in to share their experience, such as starting. What is starting your own medical device company experience? What is it like? You know. So for those who are considering going down the entrepreneurial route, is this the right thing for you? So, you know, this offers you the opportunity to find out from people who have done it themselves. Yeah, and then we also had a workshop on, you know, managing, how do you manage your brand, personal brand, while you're working remotely, right? And we also got companies to come in and share. All right, so in this case, this is a speaker from PwC. The future of innovation, you know, education 4.0, what does it look like? And another one, so it was just kind of a informal coffee chat with business leaders from a variety of different companies. Right, and then of course we had career workshop where, you know, students can take part, prepare for the interview, get help in reviewing their resumes. Is this the right way to position yourselves? And here's another one, brand communications in times of crisis, that's led by the marketing club. Yeah, so, you know, as you can see, actually there's a huge variety. I think the clubs must have organized close to probably 80 events in the past year alone. So as you can see, I mean, these clubs and student activities are a great way for you not just to learn, but also to network. So the idea is actually many of our students through these club activities, in fact, they got their internship opportunities or their full-time job opportunities through the contacts that they made through those kind of activities. So, you know, the various features of the MBA, of the NUS MBA program really allows you to build your own MBA experience, own MBA journey. How do you want it to look like? So it's important, you know, to come in with a, well, it doesn't have to be the exact idea of what you want to do right after, but you should have a rough idea of where you're headed. And then this platform allows you to think through, you know, is this the right thing for me to do? Do I really like consulting? I mean, what does the, you know, consulting lifestyle looks like? What does it look like? Is that the kind of lifestyle I want for myself in the next 5 years? You know, so it really allows you to ask a lot of questions in a very safe environment for you to explore. You can take different electives. So, you know, all this together with, you know, the academic rigor, all the courses that you're given, right? The outside of classroom activities. And also there's also the career development part, which I will talk about in a bit, right? All these come together to help make this MBA journey a really, really life-changing one. Okay, so several of you indicated that you're interested in all the international opportunities that the program provides. So I will talk a little bit about the different double degree programs that we offer. So there is the main NUS MBA, and then for those who feel that they want something more than that, all right, so there is the NUS PKU, Peking University Double Degree MBA, right? So you spend about 1 year at PKU, you spend 1 year at NUS, and you graduate with 2 degrees. Alternatively, for those who want exposure to Europe, you can do the same, but at HEC in Paris. And then for those who have an interest in public policy, right, and see, you know, and understand how civil service it interacts with the business world. So this is the NUS MBA, the Masters in Public Policy. That's a double degree program. Is a good option for you, right? For those who have perhaps more time to spare, you can do both the MBA as well as the Masters in Public Policy. And in addition to that, we have another option, the MBA Yale, Masters in Advanced Management, MAM, right? So that option is only available to existing students of the NUS MBA. So this is something that you would apply to once you get in, right? So this is one of the benefits that we get as a GNM member, and we are the only school in Singapore that offers that. All right, class profile, you heard also in the video how much our participants value being amongst, you know, really smart, very people with very different backgrounds. So where do our students come from? This is a typical profile of the full-time MBA class. It's slightly different from the part-time class. So the full-time cohort is about 120. We have only 120 seats. Typically in the class, we have 20 open nationalities. As I mentioned, the average work experience is about 6 years, and the average age is 29. All right, about close to 40% women, and mostly non-Singaporeans. So over 90% of them come from outside of Singapore. Now, the part-time class looks slightly different, right? It shows here 65 students because we're basing it on the 5-year average. But in the class that is starting next January, because we did postpone the start of this year's intake to next year because of COVID, we will be having about 120 part-time students. So the part-time class is going to be about the same size as the full-time class for the coming cohort. And we expect this to be the same for those who are looking to start in July 2021. Okay, So in a class of 120, you can also expect, a huge variety of different nationalities. And so the key difference between the part-time MBA and the full-time MBA profile is that the students are a little slightly older and has more work experience and are all based in Singapore. So you have to be a resident of Singapore to take part in the part-time MBA program because classes are held in the evenings and on the weekends. Right, but I have to mention that regardless of whether you choose the full-time or the part-time option, all the opportunities that I mentioned to you earlier are available to both, whichever format that you choose. The degree that you get would be the same as well. And the core courses will be offered separately because of schedule, but all electives will be offered to both classes, right? So part-time students will be able to learn alongside the full-time students. So there isn't a huge difference in terms of the curriculum for part-time and full-time. Yeah, so I said that I would go through a little bit about the career development aspects of the program. So as with other business schools, NUS has a team that looks after the career development aspects. So that team is called the Biz Careers team. And they work alongside students to take them through the whole process, right? So from helping you gain self-awareness, realizing, what kind of jobs you like, what kind of jobs are right for you. So they have a lot of profiling tools and all that, to running career workshops, career skills workshops from, CV review, how do you write a good CV, practicing interviews, and for those who want to join consulting companies, case interview preparation. They run mock assessment centers. They run workshops such as art of pitching. How do you sell yourself? If you have, very, very short time, how do you, project the best impression of yourself to recruiters? So they will work with the students. And in fact, in the NUS MBA, every Wednesday and every Friday, we don't schedule any classes, right? So those 2 days are available for students to take part in career development workshops and sessions. Sometimes recruiters come on campus to make presentations. Those will be scheduled on those days, or simply attend other student activities, or use that time for teamwork, group study, or self-study. And Biz Careers also facilitates students to build your network by providing a variety of different networking opportunities, and also support students in their search for internship and full-time jobs. Right, employment statistics. These were based on how our alumni and students responded through the Financial Times and Economist survey. So in the latest one that was published in January, right? Obviously these are pre-COVID statistics. In 94% of our students they managed to get a job within 3 months of graduation. And the post-MBA salary was about $87,000 US, right? 3 years after graduation, according to Financial Times survey, the salary would have grown quite tremendously to $168,000. Okay. All right. Where do our graduates go? All right. On the left-hand side, you see this is where they come from in terms of industry, and so most of our graduates end up in the tech sector and in tech roles. The second most popular industry, financial services, and the third, consulting. Right. So actually, the spread is quite big, because we have you know, our graduates have very, very different interests. So we're not a typical, you know, like some schools, they send most of their graduates to, say, consulting jobs. So actually, you know, our spread is quite wide. And where do they end up geographically speaking? So if we're saying that only about 10% of Singaporeans or those based in Singapore join the program, post-MBA, about 21% of them stay in Singapore. The rest of them are spread all over the world, mostly in Asia, I would say. All right, and then some do go to Europe, North America, but much smaller numbers. All right, so I'll spend the next few minutes to share with you what the admissions requirements are. I would encourage those who are interested in applying to attend the next session. That's a workshop on, you know, getting tips on how do you apply. But I'll talk you through, you know, what the admissions requirements are. So we have one intake every year. Typically, we start in August. So this was a very unique year when we had to postpone the start to January. So in fact, in 2021, we will have two intakes. So one intake starting in January and then the other intake starting in August. So if you're applying now, you'll be looking at starting in August 2021 for both full-time and part-time. Tuition fees, $68,000. All right. The eligibility criteria, so really the standard ones like good bachelor's degree. You know, if you didn't do your undergrad in English language, you will be required to submit a TOEFL or IELTS score, a good GMAT or GRE score. All right, so that is a requirement for full-time MBA applicants. So full-time MBA applicants have to submit the GMAT or GRE score. There is no waiver. But if you're looking at doing the part-time MBA, you have more options, right? So you can also be looking at the executive assessment, which is an alternative standardized test for older candidates. All right. So we also have workshops and sessions in this fair for you to find out more about these. So I'll encourage you to sign up for those sessions. So minimum, as I mentioned earlier, it's 2 years work experience. However, the average is 6 years. So yeah, I think most of our participants actually are closer to, I think they're in the range of between 5 to 8 years. Right, very standard ones like the referee reports, which will be submitted online, your transcripts, university transcripts, right? So all these are to be done online. The deadline, first round is just around the corner in end of January, right? So for those who are keen on applying for scholarships, you want to be applying for the first round. Okay, so do get started. Actually, the GMAT and GRE prep could take you at least 3 months to get ready. And then the final and second round is the end of March. For those who are applying for part-time, you have slightly more time, right? First round deadline is the 31st of March, and then final deadline is 17th of March. All right, so you don't have to follow these timelines. So you should submit whenever you're ready. In fact, the earlier you submit, the better. And because we are reviewing applications on a rolling basis. Right, so for those who want to sign up, please join us for the next session, the MBA admissions workshop at starting in 1 minute time, and then the Q&A session afterwards. All right, see you there. Thank you for joining us.